Whoa, standing way too far away. How's it going, guys? How you doing? I know, it's been a minute. We're here to do some cut testing really quick on some stuff. Cranking out knives, doing other things, got other things going. Gonna go on some rants here in the next few videos, but tonight, it's not about that. It's about beers and blades, or some variation of that. Oh, damn, this is so good. Anyway, the things we're going to test tonight. We are going to test I call it the little Bruiser. I forget what Adam calls it. Adam of AW Blade Works. This is a smaller fixed blade EDC Nitro-V. We are at roughly, I think, a little less than 10 thousandths behind the edge. I could measure it right now and not be a dick. So let's do that. But the Nitro-V was heat treated at Peters, and we got a Rockwell of about, I think he said 61, 62 if I'm not mistaken. So, actually we're thinner than 10 thou behind the edge, so let's go up a little thinner. So we're sitting right at about, let's see, that's 6, so about 7 thousandths behind the edge. I put this in my, my doohickey tool that I did a review on, the gonometer, and the edge angle is at, I believe it's at 18 degrees per side. I checked it. That's the verification that I got off the Edge Pro as well. I sharpened it on a fixed system just to get a very solid edge on there. The overall length of this little bad boy is just under 6 inches, a little over 5.5 inches. You may notice that you can't get a full purchase on there, but he did include this little this lanyard. This lanyard kind of acts as like a little handle there, so you get a full purchase. It's very, very smart design idea on his part. I actually complimented him on it because there's a lot of knives, or the whole purpose of making my knives is because you can't get a full purchase on stuff, but this you can choke back a little bit and get a full purchase on it because this little thing acts, you're not curled into your own pinky. It's very comfortable in the hand, and we're going to see how Nitro-V performs tonight. And then I want to do another cut test because I never got around to it, and I figured I just, two good makers, two great makers in my opinion. I mean, Adam does very, very good work. This other maker does very, very good work too. This is a Phil Wilson custom. This is the South Fork, like a fillet knife style knife. It's I think it's spalted maple handle, or not spalted maple, stabilized maple handle that is dyed. That's his pretty generic handle. We have orange G10 liners with a orange and black G10 spacer in between. This is a not a full tank construction, but a half tank construction, as you can see. And we got our pins right here, little lanyard tube, forward finger choil, back finger choil, all that stuff. We can get a full purchase in both grips, choke up on it, we can get in there. This, I bought this for a very good deal. The edge was sort of torched. The guy that I bought it from said he never sharpened it. The guy before him never sharpened it, so I don't know where the torched edge came from. But we are at we are at 6 thousandths behind the edge in this guy. This is a K390, heat treated by Phil Wilson himself to a 64 Rockwell reading. As you know, K390 is very, very wear resistant steel. Has a lot of properties in there of toughness and wear resistance. And at 64, we get that nice balance of toughness, a little bit more on the toughness side. But we do have those carbides that help with edge retention and things of that nature. I imagine this is going to do very well on the cut test with this thin geometry and the heat treat that was put on there by Phil Wilson. Any information on any of his knives, you can go to C-Mount, I believe it's cmountknifeworks.com. I'll put the link in the description, and I will also put on the screen. He has a lot of information in there, a lot of heat treating information in there, a lot of knife making information in there. If you are going to be a knife maker, enthusiast, or all of the above, I encourage you to go read every single document that is on that man's website. I have read every single document several times. I've gleaned a bunch of knowledge from that man. I would like to have a conversation with him at some point. Maybe I'll reach out to him in an email or something. I'm sure he's a very, very nice guy to talk to. Anyway, with that said, we're gonna do this self fork. We're gonna do this little Bruiser guy that AW Blade Works made, and we're not gonna compete against each other, but we're just gonna see what the results are of what Nitro-V does and what K390 can do at a thin geometry with an optimal heat treat. And again, with a very, very well heat-treated Nitro-V blade. So, with that said, let the mo-fucking games begin. I gotta get some of a beer first, though. Cashmere Bomb. It's pretty good. I think it's Sloop Brewing Co. I believe they're out of Brooklyn. Nope, Hopewell Junction, New York. This thing tastes really good. So yeah, with that said, we'll get through the cut test. We'll talk about it a little bit at the end. And then I can go finish grinding to my heart's content. Thank you guys. What's up, guys? I don't mean to sound like that, dude, but anyway, how's it going? Finished the test. Good to go. Let's have a sip of beer. Let's talk about this. Holy shit. So the Nitro-V at 6162, 7 thousandths behind the edge, 16 degrees per side, bonded diamond finish of I did 80, 240, and then 400 of the Veneve bonded diamond stones. Gave us 220 cuts. So that's like close to a lot of like Spyderco M4 that I've tested.
Well, Nitro-V shouldn't be close to M4, Alex. It shouldn't be like that.
I agree. However, hardness does play a factor. Composition does play a factor. Geometry plays a bigger factor in edge retention. It's just facts. Geometry plays a bigger role in edge retention. Hands down. And then we have hardness to support that geometry. And then we have our composition to then further that cut. Okay? Case in point. This did 220 cuts. Okay? Now, the Phil Wilson Custom K390, 17 degrees per side, 6 thousandths behind the edge, so roughly similar behind the edge geometries. This is Rockwell at 64 by Phil Wilson himself. Heat treated by Phil Wilson himself. In a garage by Phil Wilson himself. Did 420 cuts, which is more than, I think it's more than Maximate that I've tested.
Well, it shouldn't be Maximate. It's K390. It shouldn't be Maximate. More carbide volume K390.
I agree. However,
Geometry does all the cutting.
just wanna, do you understand now? So when people fucking go in my comments and say, well, this shouldn't beat out this because of this, this is the reason why. Geometry cuts. Hardness supports that geometry. The composition prolongs that cut or dictates how long that cut will go. Simple facts. So when people say M390 is the greatest edge retention ever, I call, compared to what? Compared to what? S30V at a thinner edge geometry will probably beat out M390. Probably. If that M390 had a thicker edge geometry. Maybe. We'd have to test it. Or, you know, something along the same lines of M390. So like get up there with, you know, I don't know, use 20CV. Basically the same fucking thing. Thin that down. See which one cuts longer. They should cut exactly the same. They're the same steel, right? Exactly, they should cut exactly the same. Exact same steel. If you thin one down a little bit thinner, not so much. Okay? That's my point. And this had a rolled edge towards the end there because I was actually pressing it on that board. When I started, I was just doing push cuts. I was like, holy shit, this thing's like fucking hot knife through butter. And that's what I'm saying is, people say, well, this is the best edge retention. Well, compared to what? This has the best edge retention. Compared to what? You just have to compare things. Everything's not fucking apples to apples, okay? With anything. So, we have the Nitro-V. A steel created by the New Jersey steel baron. Very baroness man, from what I hear. Nitro editions along with vanadium editions, which is why we have the V. We can get, I think, a max hardness of 62 HRC. Maybe 63, I don't know. I'd have to go back and check. But optimal is 6162, which is what this is, 6162. We still got very, very nice edge retention. And that was allowed by the heat treat. That was allowed by that composition, and that was allowed by that geometry. All of these things play a factor together. Just remember that. Geometry cuts, and the composition just dictates how long that cut lasts for. These are similar edge geometries. I doubt a 1/1000th of an inch difference is really going to make that big of a difference, but we can fucking probably test that out at some point because I know someone's going to fucking comment about it in my comments. Well, that one's a little bit thicker behind the edge. Yes, 1/1000th of an inch. So basically the width of a human hair difference. K390 cut longer. Okay, it was a harder knife. It had different composition than Nitro-V. So therefore, it prolonged that cut. There's no argument there. Okay? But that geometry helped out 100%. Okay? If you had a steel in 1095 and you ground it down to 6/1000ths behind the edge, I guarantee you, if you had it at the same hardness, which I think you can get 65, 66 out of 1095, if you try hard enough, had it at the same hardness, around 64, I guarantee you that K390 would blow it out of the water. Why? Because of the composition. We have the same geometries, same hardnesses, but now the cut is being prolonged by the composition. So, yeah, that was a fun test. I highly recommend getting this thing. This thing was a pleasure to cut with. Holy shit. I believe these are going for around 160. Hit up Adam Webb, awbladeworks.com. He is on AW Bladeworks on Instagram. He's also Mr. Scred on Reddit. check it out. Sorry, his logo's on this side. AW Blade Works, check it out. This is with red Taro Tough or maroon Taro Tough, the same Taro Tough I'm using actually for my my Shark models. Has black G10 liners. It is very, very fit and finishy, very, very nice. Has brass pins, all that. It's a very nice knife. I highly recommend it. A little EDC for you. It will definitely work with kitchen tasks, probably. It's very high. The blade's very high up, so it looks like you can get like nice knuckles underneath there for a cutting surface. Probably does well chopping and all of that. Phil Wilson Custom by Phil Wilson. This is the South Fork. Again, very nice knife, very nice geometry, very well made. Few fit and finish flaws, but nothing I would gripe about being at a custom from a human being's hands. So this is an overall very nice knife. This is a hand sanded finish. Again, I picked this up secondary. I'm very, very pleased with it. It does have a Kydex sheath, and it does fit and click very, very nicely in the pocket. Added a little Alti clip to it. It's easy to deploy with the little thumb rest there. Sort of disappears. You could be carrying this on a hunting trip or something like that. I just wore it to have it, you know, for this test. With that, I got a few more videos to do. I'm probably going to try to bust those out this week. If not, I'll do it on the weekend. Maybe take a break from grinding. I have a few announcements. What do I got? Sharks going. Got to grind the final bevels and then do Kydex. That should all be done. Got more steel on order, Rex 121, and another steel I'll announce on my Instagram. Some of you already know what it is, so keep it hush-hush. I'm probably looking at a new abrasives vendor. Norton Blaze does last a long time, there's no doubt about that, but it is a garbage abrasive as far as kind of breaking off and resharpening. Typically abrasives will have that, you know, point of where the abrasion breaks off and you can get a clean edge. I've been finding myself having to redress a lot of these belts, the 60 grit belts mostly. The other two finer grit belts, not so much. So I'm looking into that. Have some samples on the way. We're gonna probably test those and do a video on those. Have a sharpening video maybe to do. And then an overall general rant video on some, I think some people in the knife community that do have good intentions, but are going about it the wrong way, and it's just putting a fucking sour taste in my mouth and making my stomach just boil with rage. I think that this community is a great community, and I think the people in it are, you know, honest to the most part, but I think a lot of them are just, once they get fame or become quote-unquote rock stars, they tend to lose sight of a lot of things in the community and don't really do any research or reading, which is weird to me because reading is fucking awesome. Take a look. It's in a book, you know? So those are the things that are coming forward. I know a lot of you have missed my videos and all that stuff, so I do Instagram, I do Instagram live feed, so jump on there. I don't save those videos because a lot of time I'm talking mad shit about everyone. Just kidding. I just don't really care about saving the videos to my Instagram feed. I'll just make a video and keep it on YouTube and not pull it down like some coward, you know. So yeah, with that said, cheers, boys and girls, girls and boys. I'm not going to get into pronouns now. I don't really give a fuck. But that's the video. Nitro-V at 6162 did 220 cuts. Phil Wilson Custom and K390 at 64 HRC did 420 cuts. That is all. 90% increase with the Phil Wilson Custom over the Nitro-V, if anyone wanted to know. That is a huge increase. Both well-made knives by very, very well, awesome makers. I highly recommend you checking out AW Blade Works. He's a real good dude, real honest with everything. He does regrinds as well, so hit him up for a regrind. I believe he charges similar to what I charge, is around $50. Please hit him up. He's a very good guy. And a couple other, I'm sure a couple other my knife making buddies will send stuff to me to test. I would love to. I encourage it. With that said, I'm going to chug this beer and then we're going to go grind knives. I'm going to be on the live feed. You probably won't see it, but it doesn't fucking matter. So have a great night. See you guys.